theaters right now, Elvis and Nixon, a film about that iconic photograph between Elvis Presley and Richard Nixon in the Oval Office, and playing the role of Sonny West, a friend of Elvis Presley in this film, is back here on the Rich Eisen Show. Johnny Knoxville, good to see you, sir.
All right, good to see you.
So last time you were on, it was for your documentary that you were honchoing, for the lack of a better phrase, on Evel Knievel.
Yeah, being
now, I mean, so you're all about these iconic 70s moments right now.
I guess, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You're on a roll right here.
Yes, yes. Maybe.
What attracted you to the Elvis Nixon film?
Well, I honestly, I heard that Kevin Spacey's playing Nixon and Michael Shannon is playing Elvis, and I think I said yes before I even read the script. And we have a wonderful director, Eliza Johnson. So it was a really wonderful script and a crazy story that's absolutely true. You would think, how can they make a movie about a whole picture? But it's just bananas.
And because you would think, just based on what one would think about an iconic figure like Elvis and a busy man like the President of the United States, that this would be hashed out and put on his schedule. But that wasn't the case.
No.
Elvis crashed the White House gate?
Yeah, he wanted a shiny new badge. He's obsessed with badges. And I think in the back of his mind, from what I've heard, that he thought if he got a federal narcotics badge, like a federal agent at large, which that title doesn't even exist, but that's what he wanted, that he could, travel places with his guns and whatever medicine he may have had on him. So he was crazy, but crazy like a fox. And he just shows up at the White House.
And that's how he got into the
He shows
Oval
up with a
Office?
letter, and he goes, "Can you give this letter to the president?" And they're like, after a few seconds, they realize it was Elvis.
Right.
And so he has to wait a while, but they bring him in later in the day.
And then they get into the Oval Office and snap the picture.
Well, there's a long meeting, and we kind of interpreted. Nixon wasn't recording at that time, so we don't know what was said, but we kind of interpreted what we would like to have been said, and maybe we interpreted he did some karate for the president. I don't know. You have to see the movie. So, but it's a wonderful story and just bananas.
So who's a more fascinating figure to you, Evel Knievel or Elvis Presley?
Wow. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a neck and neck tie right there for me.
Would you take the 50s Elvis or the sweaty?
50s. The kid that walked into the Memphis Recording Service.
That's who you'd take?
Yeah.
50s Elvis over sweaty Vegas Elvis?
Before it got...
Little loose.
Before it went from wacky to dark, I like the kid that walked in to Sun Records.
Yeah. I've got Johnny Knoxville here on the Rich Eisen Show. So I know you're a big fight guy, and there's a big fight this weekend.
Yes.
We talked about the ponies in the second hour of the show because it's the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Are you a horse guy or no? Not really.
Man, I can't pick him in the replay, but I'm always pulling for more Hyman. So.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's got your back, man.
Thank you.
That's right.
By the way, if you say that tomorrow at Belmont at the second floor bar, he would buy you a free drink. That's the phrase that pays when he's there tomorrow.
Oh well, I'm
the race.
Always up for a free drink.
Come on out, Johnny.
All right. But the fight. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. So Alvarez and Khan, what do you handicap this one for me?
Well, I think I'm going to go with Canelo, and I think it's going to be a great fight because both of those guys come to fight. I think it's like the third most anticipated fight. Like, I think the second one people want to see is like Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez fight. And I think the first one everyone wants to see, one I want to see. I'm speaking for everyone.
Please do.
I wish Floyd would come back out of retirement and fight Gennady Golovkin.
Do you think there's any chance of something like that happening?
Very slim.
No, where do you stand on Floyd, though? Because, I mean, there's some people who think that he takes the fights only that he knows that he's got a better chance to win, that he's not going to take the fight where his style won't be successful, that he's going to go ahead and take that challenge from somebody that could perhaps take him down. and what his Achilles heel might be. Where do you stand on that subject?
I think he is an amazing fighter, and I think he, especially defensively, I think he's also like Roy Jones was in his prime. He was just athletically so much farther ahead of everyone else that it's tough to rate someone like that because they have no peer. And I think he's taken tough fights. And who was the Argentinian fighter that I thought beat him in that first fight? I can't remember his name. It was just like a year or two ago. And then Floyd fought him again. And
Maidana.
Yes, Maidana, and whipped him because he's also a very intelligent fighter, and he'll figure you out. So I would love to see him and Gennady Golovkin go at it.
So who's the best fighter you've ever seen? Or you put money down, or you've ever seen in person, Johnny Knoxville? Who's the best fighter?
That I've seen in ringside?
Let's start with that. Sure.
Okay, the best. Well, I haven't been to that many fights. I saw De La Hoya fight. And I remember I saw Big John Tate fight his Knoxville boy, heavyweight, fight Mike Weaver in Knoxville. Beat Mike Weaver the whole match, 14 rounds. And then the 15th round, everyone started going, Big John Tate, Big John. And Mike Weaver caught him and just knocked him out. I did get Waylon Jennings' autograph at that fight. I mean, I saw Waylon. My father sees Waylon. He's got two guys holding him up. I mean, he'd been well into his cups. And he gave me his autograph, and I lost it, but I wish I still had Waylon's autograph.
So that's the best fight you witnessed in person?
No, I just wanted to work in Big John Tate and Waylon.
It's very, by the way, that's a first. That's a first for this show. We've been on the air 18 months. That's the first ever one of those.
All right.
So then what's the best fighter you've ever seen, though? Pay-per-view or you've ever seen?
Well, I mean, if you're going to go on, I'm going to throw in YouTube, I'll have to go Sugar Ray Robinson. I think is probably the best fighter. But the best fighter in my lifetime is probably Muhammad Ali, and then...
The greatest.
Yeah. I mean, the 70s heavyweights were just brilliant.
Maybe that's your next gig right here. About 70s heavyweights.
Yeah, that would be.
I mean, you've gone Evel Knievel. Now you've gone Elvis with Nixon. Now maybe you got to do something like that because everybody's trying to recapture that moment. You know, MMA is obviously UFC has taken center stage right now for this type of action for you.
Modern day heavyweights are pretty. The modern day heavyweight division is getting good again.
Okay.
So and it's not to 70s level, but. Compared to what it's just been a one horse show for so long, and it's getting exciting again. What?
No, that's okay. He's just getting in my ear about a couple of things right here.
Oh, okay.
But no, let me ask you this question now: is there a chance for another Jackass? People are tweeting me like crazy right now. What do you got?
There's always a chance. I mean, we just kind of decide at the last second if we're going to do one.
What do you mean?
We don't plan. It's like we'll.
But these things look very planned out, what you're doing. I mean, you don't just show up somewhere and say, let's use this steamroller and this hatchet and this,
we start with a shell of an idea, and if, like, we know what we need to do the stunt, but since we're doing something that's never been done before, we have no idea how it's going to end. So we just kind of get everyone together and push record.
So it's possible, is what you're saying?
It's possible.
Okay.
It's not planned, but possible.
Okay, very good. And what is next on your docket here? What do you got in your busy career, your busy life?
Very busy career.
Yes, you do.
I'm working on a couple of films right now, trying to get those the scripts ready. And me and my cousin have a radio show on Sirius.
Yes, the Big S Happy Family Jubilee.
That's right. It ain't too good, but it's long. On Channel 60 Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Yep, you and your cousin Roger Allen.
Roger Allen Wade, that's right.
On the Outlaw Country Channel 60 on Sirius XM. So you got the Big S Happy Family Jubilee. And we're giving away a gift card shortly with the subject of the worst gift you ever got your mom. Do you have any subject on that? God, it's the worst thing you ever got.
Well, Mother's Day's coming up, and
yes,
I always write a terrible Mother's Day card, one that's uncomfortable. So when we're telling the ladies, like, Mom's so glad this is the first Mother's Day you haven't been incarcerated in 3 years, and I got your email of your new back tattoo, and just terrible things. And Mom gets so upset every year. Sorry, Mom, I love you.
Because she has no tattoos and she has not been incarcerated.
No, she just the worst stuff, you know. I write, and the lady's like, she's really uncomfortable when she's taking down what I'm telling her.
Oh, my. That's fantastic. Well, listen, man, Elvis and Nixon in theaters now, and it looks great. Everything looks great with what's going on with you, so thanks for coming back on.
Thank
Johnny.
you.
You are the man.
All right.
At Real J Knoxville on Twitter, Johnny Knoxville.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.